Journalist. Someone who collects and writes news, stories and articles for newspapers.
Why not? Because I am not a journalist.
I bet you got journalists and newspapers chasing after you now, huh?
Famine. An extreme lack of food in a region.
From the earth far below, souls of the dead, of people who'd perished from famine, from war, from the plague.
Since the time of the Great Famine, they'd come streaming off the boats.
Revive. To come or bring something back to life.
The only way to revive him, we needed Prime and his Matrix.
But despite resuscitating his life, reviving his hope, and instilling a few wicked calluses, Harold's journey was still incomplete.
Commence. To begin something.
We will now commence the prom king and queen's first dance.
Commence experiment 34C, organic atomic reduction.
Observant. Good or quick at noticing things.
Ralph was under the impression that Ephraim was an observant Jew who only dealt arms as a means to protect Israel from her enemies.
Your limousine is arrived, sir.
You're observant, Tyler.
Identify. To recognize someone or something.
Mr. Pink, your first job is to identify the quickest route from the library to the drop-off point here.
Thanks to Mr. Maroney's well-placed sources, we know that police have indeed identified our banks using marked bills.
Migrate. To move from one place to another.
Good evening. Tonight's top story, Quahog is infested with loud, hairy creatures also known as New Yorkers.
They migrate north every autumn to see the foliage.
I believe that a mental and a cultural migration back to Africa, not necessarily a physical migration, not at the...
Vessel. 1. A large boat or a ship. 2. A tube that carries liquids such as blood.
I'm commandeering this vessel in the name of Her Majesty.
He died pretty quick, either a heart storm or a ruptured blood vessel in the brain.
Persist. To continue to do something.
The bombings will continue as long as Britain's financial criminal institutions persist in their support of the illegal occupation of Northern Ireland.
Who am I? I'm a hard worker. I set high goals, and I've been told that I'm persistent.
Hazy. Not clear.
My history's a little hazy, Cassius. But shouldn't the barbarians lose the Battle of Carthage?
I don't know. I'm still a little hazy. Oh, yeah. Now I remember it like it was yesterday.
Gleam. A soft, shiny light.
I saw a faint gleam of light at the other end of the black cave of doom.
How the devil do you know about Lewis?
You've seen that little gleam in the fat man's eye? That twinkle? That's me!
Editor. A person who corrects and makes changes to texts or films.
She showed it to an editor at Houghton Mifflin in Boston, and the Boston editor showed it to the head of publishing.
She's a newspaper editor now, but what she really wants to be is a columnist. So to prove herself to her bosses, she wrote a sample column.